One of the key ways that we used to try and get Google's attention has been blog content. This has been the bread and butter of SEO for years. This was about producing roughly medium to long form content that would answer questions that weren't a great fit for static pages. So those are like the landing pages and key navigation pages on your site. They'd be somewhere between 600 and 1,200 words typically. That can definitely vary, but generally that's what it takes to have something valuable and substantial to users. And that was the key. It was about establishing your authority in a given topic, providing information that users found valuable, and responding to where you were seeing search volume. So finding the terms that a lot of people are searching for and writing content that includes those terms and is written around them to try and draw traffic in and rank for those terms. And also to prove to Google and other search engines that you know what you're talking about in this space and that you can help users who are looking to answer that question. This has been a great tactic for years. This is still important content, but the role has changed. As mentioned, this used to be a significant source of organic search traffic. About 20 to 40% of organic search traffic in the highest cases would come from blog articles to a site. Maybe less than that, but those were kind of some of the highest ones that I encountered. It was treated as a place where this was a main driving path to the site. This was a place that people could find your site and then navigate out from there. And then if you had an authoritative, well-maintained site that was publishing blog content, you were very likely to rank when you published something new. Now things have changed a little bit. This has now become, I would say, a secondary source of traffic. We're seeing a preference towards pointing people to your kind of more stable, steady content, like your actual in-navigation menu pages. That doesn't mean that they're not important, though. They establish your authority in a given topic, so you can write to something that's relevant to your product or service, and then just provide text links to those static navigation pages. And that sends a cue to Google that this is part of our body of content. We're sending users back to our main pages in our site, but we're also an authority in topics adjacent to our product and service. We know how to speak to it, and we can answer users' questions. That does mean that blogs are ranking less than they did before. We're seeing that pretty steadily, especially following a Google update in last year, so where things definitely shifted around and focused more on those landing pages in terms of ranking. These help build the profile of those ranking pages. It helps search engines understand what you offer and what you cover. And it also illustrates that you're an authority in your space. So they may not rank themselves, but they're still valuable at supporting your other content. With that in mind, again, we come back to user intent. Let's say we have something that's relative to this article that we were just looking at here, this indoor water park hotels, where again, if the question is, where should search engines send users? It kind of makes sense that over time, Google has shifted away from blog articles. Since any three of these, either the directory page, the AI overview, or a site for individual hotels, or featuring individual hotels in search results, any of those is probably going to serve a user better than just a blog article that's been provided by a site owner. So it makes sense that their thinking is, hey, we'd rather send users. It makes more sense to send them directly to key information than it does to send them to a blog article that houses this information. Again, that doesn't mean that Google isn't aware of the blog article and they're not taking it into account when they consider your site's overall authority in your industry. But it's just something to consider that the blog isn't going to be the main thing that's driving traffic. So don't be overly concerned if you don't see them rank like crazy. Just look at your core site rankings and focus on those as far as how they're affecting that. And then you'll be able to see kind of where the impact of the blog lies. You may also get one that ranks. It's not all spaces that are seeing blogs be devalued. Every industry is a little bit different and everything has different user patterns and preferences. So there are some that are still seeing blogs perform very well and still driving a lot of traffic. But just in case after December you saw that shift downwards, don't worry too much about it. You're probably still seeing a shift towards your keywords that you're focusing on just on the static elements of your site. And that goes back to, again, the key priority that they're seeing across all the changes that Google is making. Their core focus is just very clearly on getting users the information they want as quickly as possible.